What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark, MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm diving into my favorite performances in television for 2024. I made a really fucking long list because this is drama, comedy, and limited all combined together. I made a rule for myself at the top because I also have a top ensembles list. So these are singular performances. And I limited myself to no more than two people from any show. So that way I could represent as many shows. I don't want to do that thing that the Emmys do where they're like, everyone from the White Lotus is nominated. Even the dog. you know, like um I'm not that style. I like too many shows and I want to kind of put a bunch of different performances on here. So once you hear two names, it doesn't mean that I didn't like other performances from the show. It just means those were the top two performers from the show. Like, theoretically, maybe a third person could have made this list, but this was already a hard list. I went with 50, so we're going to blow through some honorable mentions. And then I'm going to do like a top 15. Those are the performances that I kind of want to talk about. So it's more like a top 15 with just a shit ton of honorable mentions. But in case you feel like your person is left off the list, these were the performers that I really loved in 2024. Get ready. Starting at the bottom, we've got Peyton List from Cobra Kai, Lisa Ann Walters from Abbott Elementary, Will Forte from Bodkin, Patty Lapone from Agatha All Along, Carrie Preston from Elsbeth, Walton Goggins from Fallout, Bruce Campbell from Hysteria, Vince Vaughn from Bad Monkey, Kate Blanchett from Disclaimer, Olivia Cook from House of the Dragon. The House of the... Feels like House of the Dragon. Yes, House of the... Yeah, it is House of the Dragon, not Game of Thrones. Yes. Jane Lynch, Only Murders in the Building. Ella Purnell from Fallout. Cosmo Jarvis from Shogun. Karen Fukuhara from The Boys. Moses Ingram from The Lady in the Lake. Andrea Martin from Evil. Owen Arthur from The Rings of Power. Keira Knightley from Black Doves. Jonah Howard King from The Tattooist of Auschwitz. Kathy Bates from Matlock. Billy Bob Thornton from Landman. Stephanie Shu from Laid. Jason Segel from Shrinking. Steve Zahn from Silo. Joel Edgerton from Dark Matter. Kevin Kline from Disclaimer. Coleman Domingo from The Madness. Janelle James from Abbott Elementary. Alexander Ludwig from Earth Abides. Anthony Starr from The Boys. Ayo Edebiri from The Bear. Catherine Hahn from Agatha All Along. Jessica Gunning from Baby Reindeer. Steve Martin from Only Murders in the Building. Jodie Foster from True Detective Night Country. Just missed the cut. Anyway, so those are my honorable mentions. The top 15 are Tim Robbins from Silo. He's had a lot of time to really expand his character this season, especially with Rebecca Ferguson, who if you did the math, the two that I picked from Silo were Tim Robbins and Steve Zahn. That was a hard hard choice to not have Rebecca Ferguson on this list. So I'm telling you, doing this thing was really hard, but I felt like I wanted to represent like a wide variety of shows instead of a bunch of people from like one show that I love. So, because I do like a bunch of different shows, but I really love Bernard. I really love what Tim Robbins has done with Bernard. I love that he feels conflicted and he doesn't just feel like some just average mustache twirling villain. He's really sort of given him depth. He's evil, but he also seems like there's a purpose behind it, and it might actually be, like the situation, sort of like the road to hell is paved with good intentions type thing. So, um, yeah, I'm so intrigued by his character, and I think he's brought a lot of life to it. And part of that is because separating her and putting her in another silo has caused the members of the old silo to flourish. And one of the people who's flourished probably the most is Tim Robbins, who's a great actor anyway, and when given more to do and more range and time, and it's like now we know, for most of season one, we did not know what his character was. But now that we do, it's out in the open. He's been doing a fantastic job. So Tim Robbins is number 15. Number 14 is Callie Reese from True Detective Night Country. I did put her above Jodie Foster. I don't know if that's controversial for people, but I actually liked Callie Reese a little bit more in True Detective Night Country, although I thought both of them played very well off of each other. And ultimately, she has a bright future ahead of her. I hope we continue to see Callie in things to come. So I hope she's gotten a lot of awards attention for True Detective Night Country, and I hope that leads to more nominations for her down the road. But just a beautiful performance. Looking for her, the killer of this girl, long time, like just sticking on this case. Very good. Anyway, moving up the list. Number 13. Billy Crystal for Before. I didn't know this was really in him as a performance. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's just because it's like Billy Crystal and he was in this like dark thriller horror thing, like supernatural. And he did such a good job. He's like a grieving widower, but there's like darkness behind it. And there's a really twisty plot to this series. Yeah, I thought he was really good. The kid that he plays opposite almost made the list too. I had a Jupe. It's one of the Jupes. I had him on the list for a while too, but I shaved it down to 50. But those were the two that I had picked from before. The kid didn't make the cut, but I thought Crystal was excellent. So moving up the list, number 12. Richard Gadd from Baby Reindeer. Jessica Gunning just barely missed it. She's on honorable mentions. I fully recognize Jessica Gunning was also fantastic in Baby Reindeer. Richard Gadd, number 12, Baby Reindeer. Yep. He was great. I mean, out of nowhere. I'm also with no understanding of where he is as an actor, like where he comes from. He's playing like a variation on himself. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't put him a little bit higher, is because he is kind of playing a variation on himself. This is sort of based on his true life account, but also he did a really bang up job and very emotional. And Baby Reindeer was this sort of happenstance moment of 2024. So moving up the list, number 11. Evan Moss-Baccarat from The Bear, who's turned into my favorite character of The Bear. If you would ask me in season 1 who is my least favorite character of The Bear, I would have said Richie. I would have said Evan Moss-Baccarat is my least favorite person on the show. He's now my favorite person on the show. That has to do with the actor and the writing and everything that's gone into it. Richie has really come into his own beautifully, and I love this character. I love Evan, and I think he's better than Jeremy Allen White. And my two choices from The Bear, as you might have heard, AO was pretty high on my honorable mentions list. She just was on the top 15. But Evan, those two for me are carrying the show now, and I don't need Jeremy Allen White as much anymore. So, sorry, dude. Actually, I would prefer more Jamie Lee Curtis. Also, she kills it on the show. Abby Elliott's great, you know what I mean? Anyway, moving up the list. Number 11 is Hannah Einbinder for Hacks. What a season. for Hannah. I thought she really slayed it, and especially in like the final scenes and everything. When we got down to the sort of like the end of the season, I can't wait for season 4. I'm so excited. I'm so sad that she just does not get the awards love that Jean Smart does. She keeps getting the nominations, but not the wins, and it's so disappointing. I'd love for her to just win somewhere, something, because like Hacks doesn't exist without Hannah. They're basically co-leads. She's taking a hit here by going supporting. You know, come give the girl a break. Give her a fucking award somewhere. Give her a Globe or an Emmy, please. Moving up the list. Number 10 is Brian Jordan Alvarez for English teacher. English teacher kind of came out of nowhere and blew me away. Kind of like Baby Reindeer, but I thought he was hilarious. I loved English teacher. I'm really looking forward to another season of English teacher. And I hope it happens. I think he's definitely going to get an Emmy nomination this year. I think he's one of the big breakouts of the year in terms of performances. I would be shocked if he didn't get an Emmy nomination. It didn't happen for him at the Globes. It's going to happen for him at the Emmys. That's my hot take. I think it's happening. Moving up the list, number 9. Anna Suwai from Shogun. Yeah, so I picked Anna and Cosmo, and I kind of talked about this a little bit in my ensemble. It's just how I consume the show because it is in another language. It was easier for me to use the characters who spoke the most English as my vessel instead of the characters who I'm listening to them do Japanese, and then it's being translated to me through audio description. This is a blind critic thing. Don't read too much into it. Doesn't mean I don't like Shogun, but I still think even if I had Hiroyuki Sanada in here, even if I think I still would have chosen Anna Sawai. I just really connected with her character more, with her trajectory, like the backstory and everything for her character. I might have swapped Cosmo for Hiroyuki if I could read subtitles, but I really believe even with subtitles, I would have chosen Anna. I thought she was fantastic, and I'm really excited for possibility of her doing other things in the future. I hope people cast her. Cast Anna Sawai, please. Thank you. Next up is Emma Darcy, House of the Dragon. I thought she did a fantastic job. House of the Dragon, if you want to watch the other list, is really high on my ensemble list. And Emma Darcy, I thought, had such a fierce central force this season, and I thought they did a really nice job. I'm hoping I'm using they, them pronouns the whole time. I apologize if I didn't one time. I can't remember now. But I thought Emma did a really nice job, and I'm looking forward to more from them in the future. Moving up the list. Lola Pettigrew from Say Nothing blew me away. A character you're not supposed to like or associate with or anything in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, has clearly done awful things, historical basis for it and everything. And you're just like, wow, okay, so shit happened. Lola has some heavy scenes, and I thought she did a fantastic job with it, and I hope she continues to get awards praise for this. It's a brilliant performance. She stands out from the rest of the cast of Say Nothing. I thought she killed it. So it's a great ensemble, but she's I made sure to remember that name. I was like, who is this person? I need to memorize that name. Lola Pettigrew for the future. Moving up the list. Ewan McGregor for A Gentleman in Moscow. I think this one is a performance a lot of people have slept on. It's actually my favorite Ewan McGregor performance, possibly ever. I've always kind of thought he gets kind of like these sort of like mid roles, but this one kind of leaned into everything that made Ewan, and then found the way to give him emotional depth. I think it's a very underrated performance from him in a show that I really liked a lot. So Ewan McGregor, Gentleman in Moscow, stop sleeping on it. Anyway, moving up the list. Jean Smart from Hacks, because of course Jean Smart from Hacks, because why not? She's brilliant. It's one of the performances that you come back for every season, and you're just like, I don't even understand, her career trajectory, how she stumbled into this role, but it's such a perfect role for her, and I'm loving the fact that she's getting this success this late in life. So good for you. Moving up the list. Colin Farrell. I think we're at like number 4, by the way. Colin Farrell, the Penguin. Um, yes. Yeah, he didn't win. He didn't win. It's a tight, we're getting tight here. Remember, this is all categories. This is comedy, drama, and limited. And I just want to point out he is the first Penguin actor to appear on this list. So things may happen, but I think Colin Farrell is tremendous. And I actually wouldn't have minded if he had gotten an Oscar nomination for playing it in the movie. But I think he's a force to be reckoned with in this show, and The Penguin is one of the best things I saw this year. So, Colin Farrell, moving up the list to number 3,
Cap Harrison, Cap Ford, Cap.
or is this number 2? This might be number 2. Never mind. Whatever it is, Harrison Ford, Shrinking. He floored me this season. I mean, he's done so much with this character. He's evolved emotionally. He's also done a lot with the battle for Parkinson's. He's opened up more. We got to see a more charming side of him. We got to still see that old bitter side from season 1. The work that he's doing on Shrinking is some of the best work he's done in years. Like, since Witness. I'm gonna go a hot take and say since way back. He mostly does big budget films, like Matinee Idol type stuff. He's not usually offered roles where he has to have a lot of depth to him. And Shrinking, he's getting that in spades. And there's so much depth to his character here, and humor at times, and I think he's brilliant. And I really love the second season of Shrinking far more than season 1. And then at the top of my list, my winner for my favorite performance of 2024 is Cristin Miliotti from The Penguin. So both of the Penguin leads are really close to the top. They're just divided by Harrison Ford. Yes. I think most of us were just kind of blown away. I did not know Cristin Milioti was this good. She floored me. It was such a transformative performance. It's like with Colin Farrell, I can pick out other great performances. With Cristin Milioti, I'm like, well, there's some good before. There's nothing. It's like watching Pamela Anderson in Last Showgirl, but not that she was ever Cristin Milioti never made Barbed Wire or Baywatch, but it's sort of like that, where you're just like, oh my Jesus, what the. Yeah, brilliant casting. Like, somebody thought of this. Somebody went and got Cristin Milioti for this. They auditioned people, and somehow she got this role. And it's like, it's so fucking great because she's so good. And I couldn't imagine anybody else doing this role. I think she's the performance of 2024. She's the thing I'm going to remember from 2024 is Cristin Milioti giving this brilliant performance, this sort of earth-shaking, redefining performance that sort of shoots her into. I mean, she should be getting all sorts of offers now, just for everything in the world. Just like that. What's she doing next? Winning the Emmy. He may not, but she will. I can't imagine. It's just such a. There are not enough words. Anyway, so my winner for best performance of the year is Cristin Milioti for The Penguin. I suppose if you broke this into actor actress, Harrison Ford was a top rated actor, but in a gender neutral race, Cristin Milioti won. Look at that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.